Well, I'm certainly running against people like Chris Dodd and Barney Frank. I think the House Republicans ought to repeal the Dodd-Frank bill next week. I think it's a terrible bill. I think Michelle Bachmann had it exactly right. It is a job-killing, homeowner killing, small bank killing, small business killing bill. They ought to repeal it, send it to the Senate, and we ought to build pressure on the Senate to repeal it. The fact is that the Congress and the Federal Reserve and the U.S. Treasury, I suggested tonight Bernanke ought to be fired, Geithner ought to be fired. If people are mad about the current economy, the right place to focus is Washington, because Washington is a destroyer of jobs in this country. Worse under Obama, but the general underlying bureaucracy, the general underlying regulatory pattern has been building for a long time, and it is killing jobs in America.
All right, here's a random question. Anything any of your the other candidates say tonight that surprised you?
There was a lot of very interesting conversation, candidly, and I think that whether it was Rick Santorum was a very good proposal on manufacturing. Herman Cain, who is endlessly funny, and I didn't really realize, I knew it, but I'd forgotten the implication, that he had served in the Federal Reserve Bank of Kansas City, was on the board in the 1990s. Both a sign of how much he knows, but also a sign that he and Ron Paul are going to have some really interesting conversations about the Federal Reserve System. And of course, Ron Paul was very happy tonight to have all the conversation about Bernanke and the Federal Reserve and the need to audit the Federal Reserve, which is an issue he's been pioneering for, I guess, 30 years now.
Mr. Speaker, thank you, sir.
Good to be with you.